Hello everyone, welcome to Edupedia World. Now we come to the last topic of this chapter, that is nature of economics. Nature of economics is divided into two subparts, that is economics as a science or economics as an art. Economics as a science is subdivided into two parts, positive science and normative science. We will discuss these points one by one. First, we will start with economics as a science. What is science? Science is a systemized body of knowledge ascertainable by observation and experiment. It is a body of generalizations, principles, theories, or laws which traces out a causal relationship between causes and results. Science can be divided into natural science, social science. Sciences like physics, biology, and chemistry are natural or physical science, where experiments can be conducted in the laboratory under controlled conditions. Relationships can be divided between cause and effect, which are based on facts. Observations can be made and used to prove or disapprove theories. The result apply universally. Economics is a social science because it is systematic study of economic activities of human being. Economics is a science as it is a branch of knowledge where various facts have been systematically collected, classified, and analyzed. The following arguments are given in favor of economics as a science. First, systemized study. The study of economics is systematically divided into consumption, production, exchange, and distribution of wealth and finance, which have their own laws and theories. Economics as social science, which is a systematic study of human behavior, concentrating on maximum satisfaction to households, maximum profit to producers, and maximum social welfare to the society as a whole. Second argument, scientific laws. Economics is a science because its laws are universally true. Different laws in economics, namely law of demand, law of supply, law of diminishing marginal utility, law of returns, Gresham's law, etc., are applicable to all types of economies, whether capitalistic, socialistic, or mixed economy. Third point, cause and effect relationship. Economic laws establish cause and effect relationship like the laws in other sciences. For example, the law of demand shows the relationship between change in price and change in demand. It shows that increase in price of a commodity, that is the cause, will decrease its demand, that is the effect, establishing the negative or inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. The law of supply shows that the increase in price of a commodity will increase its supply, establishing the positive relationship between price and supply of quantity of commodity. Fourth argument is verification of laws. Like other sciences, economic laws are also open to verification. These economic laws can be verified through any empirical investigation. On the basis of the arguments, we can say that economics is a science, not exactly natural or physical science, but social science that studies economic problems and policies in a scientific manner. Now we know that economics is a science. It is further subdivided into two parts, that is positive science and normative science. First, we will discuss positive science. A positive science is one which makes a real description of an activity. It only answers what is, what was. It has nothing to suggest about facts. Positive economics deals with what is or how the economic problems facing a society are actually solved. Professor Robbins had held that economics was purely a positive science. According to him, economics should be neutral or silent between ends. That is, there should be no desire to learn about ethics of economic decisions. Thus, in positive economics, we study human decision as facts which can be verified with actual data. Some examples of economics as a positive science are: India is second largest populated country of the world. Prices have been rising in India. Increase in real per capita income increases the standard of living of people. The targeted growth rate of the 10th five-year plan is 8% per annum. Fall in the price of commodity leads to rise in its quantity demanded. Minimum wage law increases unemployment. The share of the primary sectors in the national income of India has been declining. Ordinary business of life is affected enormously by tsunami, earthquake, bird flu, droughts, etc. Now we come to economics as a normative science. A normative science is that science which refers to what ought to be, what ought to have happened. Normative economics deals with what ought to be or how the economic problems should be solved. Alfred Marshall and Pigou have considered the normative aspects of economics as it prescribes that cause of action which is desirable and necessary to achieve social goals. It makes an assessment of an activity and offers suggestions for that. The statesmen which make assessment of activity and offer suggestions are called normative statements. The normative statements, in fact, are the opinion of different persons relating to rightness or wrongness of a particular thing or policy. Normative statements cannot be empirically verified. That part of economics which deals with normative statement is called normative economics. Thus, economics is both science, positive as well as normative. Some examples of economic as a normative science are: minimum wages should be guaranteed by the government in all economic activities. India should not take loans from foreign countries. Rich people should be taxed more. Free education should be given to the poor. Effective steps should be taken to reduce income inequalities in India. India should spend more money on defense. Government should stop minimum support price to the farmers. Our education system should produce sufficient qualified and trained persons to the economy. Economics as positive science and normative science is inseparable. In reality, economics has developed along both positive and normative lines. The role of economist is not only to explain and explore as positive aspect, but also to admire and condemn as negative aspect, which is essentially for healthy and rapid growth of economy. In the following example, first part of statement is positive, giving facts, and second part of is of normative based on value judgment. First, Indian economy is a developing economy. The government should make development through correct and proper planning. A rise in the price of a commodity leads to a fall in demand of quantity of commodity. Therefore, government should check rise in prices. Rent Control Act provides accommodation to the needy peoples. Therefore, the act should be honestly implemented. Now we will understand economics as an art. Economics is science in its methodology and an art in its application because it has theoretical as well as practical aspects. Art is practical application of knowledge for achieving some definite aim. It helps in solution of practical problems. Art is the practical application of scientific principles. Science lays down principles while art puts these principles into practice. Economics is an art as it gives us practical guidance in solution to various economic problems. So we can say that economics is a positive science, normative science, and an art. Economics is a positive science because firstly, economics collects the facts. Secondly, they analyze them and derive results. Thirdly, they determine the relationships between facts and results. Finally, they give a title to the bosom relationship. Now, economics is a normative science because firstly, economists point out different economic problems. Secondly, they analyze them in the light of statistic or facts and figures. And finally, they advise policies, laws, theories to solve the problem. And economics is an art because economists suggest policies along with their implementation procedures to solve the economic problem. Let us understand this with the help of following examples. First example, when an economy faces the problem of overpopulation, the economists explain its causes like illiteracy, sociology, and cultural setup, early marriages, desires of having a good number of children, lack of access to birth control centers, reduced death rates, religion, consideration, etc. This analysis is said to be a positive economics or science. When economists suggest to control birth rate by late marriages, education changing social and cultural setup, higher standard of living by less number of children, providing door-to-door birth control facilities, etc. This is said to be normative economics or science. When government implement all these suggestions and people act upon and take care by different means and action, it becomes art. So we can say that economics is a science as well as an art. Let us discuss one more example. We all know that there is a oil shortage in India. The information given by economics is positive science. We also know that government aims at removing oil shortage. The information supplied by economics is normative science. In order to achieve the objective of full availability of oil in India, the government has followed the path of oil planning. The path of planning is an art as it implies practical application of knowledge with a view to achieve some specific objectives. So we can say that economics is an art. Finally, we can conclude with that economics is thus a science as well as an art. By this, we came to the end of this chapter. After this, we can say that economics widens the mental horizon of the people because it increases mental capacity to understand various problems of life. Economics realizes us that we are interdependent to meet our economic and social wants. It leads to the spirit of cooperation. We also learn that economists critically analyze the situations and then draws conclusion which provides a guideline for successful life. It teaches us to avail the best possible situation within the given condition. It also teaches us that we have to meet our unlimited wants with limited resources. It creates a sense of responsibility which in turn makes a person a better citizen. So, we can say that human welfare is the direct and primary concern of economics. Hence, economics is an extremely important and useful subject for all the times and for all the nations. Someone has rightly said, a nation's fortune is determined not in battlefield but in economic field. and it is the study of economics which ensures supremacy in economic field. Thank you for watching Edupedia World videos.